This morning on today's Daily Dose, are you dozing off? With busy schedules, financial stress, family chaos, many women are having a hard time getting a good night's sleep. But how do you know if your exhaustion is something more serious? NBC's chief medical editor, Dr. Nancy Schneiderman, is here to help you this morning. Good morning, Nancy.
Hi, Natalie.
Something all of us can relate to. I'm sure so many of us experience it. If you're constantly tired and fatigued, though, these are common problems. Are some of it related to lifestyle, though?
Yeah, because we tend to think, oh, well, I'm just juggling 2 jobs and the kids, and so we go through life chronically tired. But if you find yourself exhausted all the time, it's worthwhile, especially for women, to stand back and say, okay, let me take stock on some things. Are there things going on in my life that could help be? Diet's one of the perfect places to start. I mean, it's possible that you're not getting the foods that you need. We know that something as simple as anemia affects women more often, and you can start to look at your diet to see if you can make things better.
So it's good to see a doctor if there, though, seems to be a deeper issue. But let's talk about anemia. And anemia is an overlooked condition often. Why is it that it does make people so tired?
Anemia really means that you don't have enough red blood cells in your body. Red blood cells carry the oxygen. If you don't get enough oxygen, you don't get enough repair, and you don't get enough oxygen to your brain and your lungs and your heart, and there's sort of this downhill spiral. So a simple blood test to check for your hemoglobin levels will tell your doctor that, yes, you need some kind of iron. Now, the foods we have here, red meats, lean chicken, greens, beans, and fortified cereals, there are a lot of ways to get iron in your basic diet. However, a lot of women don't eat really good diets, so talk to your doctor about whether you should take some iron supplementation if you have iron deficiency anemia, which is the most common one. Women are more prone because we menstruate, because we have don't eat as much, we don't have as much lean body mass. So just check with your doctor.
Okay. Now the other common cause for exhaustion can be a thyroid issue. It can be thyroid disease, or if you have a hypothyroid. What does that mean?
Millions of women are misdiagnosed and underdiagnosed with thyroid problems, particularly after having a baby or going through menopause. You can have a thyroid gland that underperforms or overperforms. But really today we're talking underperforming. And this is important because the thyroid gland that you see here in the neck really is the engine for the whole body. It pumps out hormone. The normal thyroid, as you can see, is pumping out a lot of thyroid hormone. In a hypothyroid, it's not pumping out as much. So if you look at this side, the thyroid can sometimes get a little larger, but it's larger because it doesn't work as well. And all those little white dots are little pieces of thyroid hormone. Sometimes you look across to a girlfriend and you'll see her neck looks a little big. That can be a sign, that the thyroid has to get bigger just to sort of keep up.
Are there other signs? I mean, I've heard of people sometimes losing their hair if there's an issue there. Weight gain,
thickness of the skin, sometimes being too hot, your hair loses its luster or can fall out. Simple blood test. And if you are low, all your doctor has to do is put you on thyroid supplementation.
Okay, another cause sometimes for exhaustion can be depression. And a lot of women certainly experience this, whether postpartum or just regular
and it's different
life.
than just the blues. When you're sad after something bad happens, depression is that feeling of hopelessness. And depression can also manifest itself with not sleeping well. You have a hard time going to sleep, or every morning you awaken at 3 or 4 and you can't get the evil thoughts out of your mind. Or you find yourself crawling in under the covers in the afternoon, and it's the kind of sleep that doesn't leave you feeling refreshed. You're sleeping 10, 12, 14 hours a day, but it's not better. And if that's the case, and you suddenly realize you're feeling hopeless, you're sleeping more, you're more exhausted, you're sad, your friends have changed, nothing fascinates you anymore, all the more reason to see someone for counseling.
Now, there are other less common but still important causes of exhaustion. What are they?
Some simple ones. Diabetes. Easy blood test to make sure that your sugar's okay. Arthritis can cause problems. Sleep apnea, where you really stop breathing at night, and that causes your oxygen concentration.
You may not realize that that's going on at night, unless you go for a sleep study.
If you're sleeping with us, I mean, let's say your spouse is snoring a lot, or you hear that you're snoring a lot, ask your partner to just take a simple tape recorder and record your breathing patterns at night. Sometimes that's all it takes to see if, in fact, you've stopped breathing at night. Allergic reactions, restless leg syndrome, yes, it's for real. All of those things. Even autoimmune illnesses can cause problems. The bottom line is, if you are exhausted and you say, you know what, I'm trying to eat a decent diet, I'm not too stressed, I'm getting enough sleep, but you know you're pooped, there may be a real medical reason underlying it.
Well, and there may be chronic fatigue syndrome, which
chronic
also
fatigue
affects
syndrome is an
people.
interesting one. Not all doctors believe in it. I happen to be one of those doctors who thinks it's for real. Some doctors think it's sort of a garbage basket, a wastebasket of problems. But if you talk to people who have had overwhelming viral infections and they never quite come out of it, there's something that happens to the immune system where it takes a hit.
All right, and Nancy, you're going to stand by because coming up after the break, we're going to get to some answers to your emails when we come back.